VR. Chris, not wrong. Who's gaming?
What's up, folks? Hit Points Gaming here with our podcast. We're going to be talking about the PAX Unplugged Expo. Chris, how you doing?
Pretty good. I had a good time. Doing all right. How about yourself?
I'm doing all right. Corey, how you doing?
I'm doing excellent, Doug. I can't wait to hang out with you this weekend, and I'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah, man, that's going to be so much fun. So these two fellas and our buddy James went to PAX Unplugged. Unfortunately, I was away at the time, so I really wasn't able to go. And we're going to be talking about what it is that they liked, disliked, saw, and overall impressions of Hit Points Gaming going out and checking out all these board games. But first, as always, video games, board games, what we've been up to recently. Me personally, I was up to Destiny, and I'm no longer up to Destiny because they released a 35... Oh, okay. So the console game's been out longer, right? It's been out like 2 months. But the PC version was out for less than a month. All of a sudden, I see that I can buy a $35 DLC to raise my level cap by 5. And I'm like, you know what? Nah, no thanks. I got the game for free with my graphics card. I didn't really plan on spending any money on it unless I super loved it, which I kind of do. And it's hard to not want to keep going. But on the other hand, I'm like, you know what? I'm not dropping that money that fast. I got other stuff that I can currently play. Lots of new VR stuff I got that I'm trying to enjoy the best I can when I have a chance. So that's pretty much it. I've been playing VR games with Matt, some Mass Effect Andromeda. I'm kind of slowly chugging through that. And that's really been it. Chris, what about you?
I'm still into Destiny and looking forward to December 5th to play the expansion. It has died off a little bit. Like you said, it's just kind of... I bought the killer pack, so it has everything in it, all the DLC and everything. I've been looking forward to playing Destiny on PC for years.
Right.
So I jumped right into it. I had no hesitation. However, I wish I did hesitate because you're not playing anymore. Kev doesn't really play too much, so I don't really have too many people to play with. So it's a little disappointing.
What makes it tough is it's like, okay, the campaign's done. I did the public events and stuff. You do like the weekly challenges and the daily stuff. And I just slowly see my light level creeping up. It's like, okay, right. I'm at 250. Now I'm at 253. Then I'm at 256. But I'm like getting the same items, just higher level, 256. And then I'm getting yellows everywhere. I'm like, is this like before finding the first exotic weapon that you ever found was like, whoa, oh my God. I can't believe I got a yellow one. I've got like 9 or 10 of them already. It's just sitting in the bank. Nothing's being used. And they're lower light level than the stuff that I've already got. You know what I mean? And I know you can upgrade them too with stones.
Right, but which is cool. But I mean, like, you also have to remember, with what you said, you can only wear one exotic item.
Yeah, it's a pain because, like, oh man, I got this great gun, but I got this other great gun. Well, now my other one's completely worthless.
That's my problem. I mean, I want to feel gear. I want to feel awesome, and right. I mean, I can only wear one thing at a time. It kind of sucks. It
really is detrimental to the way you want to make your character look because all the yellow gear looks great, the helmets, awesome. But it's like, oh, I have to just choose the arms to look cool, and the rest of my guy looks like a bum.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
I will say off the bat that it's probably the best looking game I've ever seen in my entire life, and it plays. The actual shooting and gun mechanics are easily the best for a first person shooter. Like, it feels so punchy when you hit somebody with a headshot with like a scout rifle. It feels fantastic, but as much as I can praise it, its content value is just so short. I know it's not a real MMO; it's like a mini MMO, but that lifespan, like why does that have less content than a single player game?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like why am I going through Dark Souls with just 2 players and it's taking me so many hours to get through it and get all the good stuff and beat it, and then Destiny I'm done with and. Like it seems so fast. I'm having the Division problem, right? Like,
okay.
The Division lasted like a little bit longer at least.
But have you done the raid? Have you done everything in the game yet?
Oh no, of course not. No.
There you go. So there is still content there because up until you hit that soft cap of 265, I got the feeling of every time I jumped in, I was increasing my character. I was actually getting
Me
something.
too.
Okay.
And
Me
those
too.
exotics that you found, to your point, you can just upgrade them down the road. It's super easy to upgrade. So I think that the way they made the formula is actually beneficial for people that didn't have the full amount of time to invest into the game,
Okay.
which is helpful to I think the players like us right now. It's just getting that core of 3 to 6 people to, hey, you want to do the Nightfall this week, or hey, do you want to do the raid this week? And unless you
Right.
have that core 6 people, I don't care what game out there, it's just not that good.
Right.
Unless you get those 6 players, then you're going to be invested,
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. That I could definitely agree with that. Chris, what else you been playing? Anything else?
On a mobile platform, I've been playing that South Park Phone Destroyer. It's like a PvP kind of game. It's fun, but it really is one of those pay to win kind of deal, I feel. So I'm still playing it, but not as much as I guess everyone else is. I'm still getting my butt handed to me, but it's still kind of fun every once in a while. It's got a lot of like boards for to play against the AI, so it's kind of fun. That's about it.
Okay, Corey, what about you?
I guess more on the board game front to start. Andrea and I started a Pandemic Legacy Season 2. I think we have, after tonight, we'll have 4 episodes out at this point. We've done 6 in total. And again, this is a legacy style type game. You guys are both aware of that style. But in this sense, you're trying to save the world from an outbreak that actually occurred 70 years ago in the first season. And in this season, you're just trying to get everything, I guess, back online with supplies. And we are having a blast playing.
That's great.
It's good because we're actually taping this one. We're kind of spacing out because we blew through the first season in a week. We played it so much. This one, because we're taping them, it spaces that out. So we're having more fun doing that. Last weekend, we got together as a big group and played Talisman. It's been a few years since we played that, so we had a good time doing that. And I alluded to it earlier, but we are planning to have our first Twilight Imperium 4th edition game this coming weekend, and I am psyched about it.
Yeah, that sounds really, really fun. It does. So hopefully everything works out where I can be there. I may be able to get a babysitter because
babysitter is not needed, of course.
Right. My wife is going to Israel for work.
Whoa.
I think she leaves Friday. So you let me know what day we're going to play, and I'll make it happen. I'm not missing it. I'm not missing it. Especially if everybody's already confirmed, I'm not missing it.
I will have the last 2 confirmations tomorrow, so I will let you know.
Tell me how you thought about, or what you thought about your initial impressions of PAX Unplugged.
I actually thought it was what I expected. It was the portion of PAX East, the board game section, just in another location. No video games or anything. And I enjoy that because when I go to PAX, I kind of just walk around the board game section. I look for games that are coming out. I look to see who's there, if there's anything that I want to try. And we actually had a few chances to try some games. Now, it's a little different than going to a video game convention because you could just walk up to a controller, play a game for a few minutes, like in the indie section, and move on. Well, board games, it's a little different. And I knew going in what to expect because a majority of the time when we get together for board games, I put in all that work ahead of time to learn the game, to figure out the best way to teach it, right? So I know what's involved. So you can't just walk up to a table and be like, oh, what's this game about? Tell me about it. It's going to take 20, 25 minutes to teach you a game, right? So there's only so many demos that you can play hands-on in a board game convention. I can kind of summarize the game to you, but you can't physically play it. Whereas in PAX East, you can just walk up to a console. I don't need anyone around me. I can press buttons and I can figure the game out. And if I don't like it in 2 minutes, I can walk away. That's not what this is. So I knew that going in. I just don't know if everyone in our group was aware of that. So I got a lot out of PAX Unplugged. I got to see the games there. There was a few that are on my checklist that I wanted to see visually just because of the components. Some things that I've kickstarted before that I have not received yet. I saw there live, which is awesome. I'm very excited about it. And there's one or two games that I actually got to sit down and play. I thought that was great to try out. And one last thing, there's also games that I've always been interested in playing, but I have not pulled the trigger to buy it because how many times do we get to play the same game over and over? So am I going to drop $60 on a game that I'm interested in? I want to play it. I want to know about it. We actually got to play it there. Now I don't have to buy it, but I can talk about the mechanics behind the game. I can refer to it in future reviews or anything else like that. So for me, I got a lot out of PAX Unplugged just for that reason alone. And I look forward to doing that again next year.
That's awesome, man. I'm real glad that you definitely touched on the point of being able to sit down and play games, and it takes a little bit longer to play and get used to a board game. I would say when you guys showed me Catan, even, what did that take? Almost like a half hour before we got to start. Mm-hmm. And then we started, and there's still more to learn.
Right.
So I think it is really good to be able to demo something that you're interested in, especially if you know it's going to be there. It's one thing to go there and just jump on a random game because you like the colors of it and have no idea what it is. But if you've been eyeing a game a while, it's like, oh man, I get to go try these games out to see if I want to, drop some coin on it and really get into it. Chris, how'd you feel about PAX Unplugged overall?
I thought it was pretty good. It's in Philly, so we're in Jersey, so it's about an hour away for us. The parking situation was great. There's a lot of places to park. It was a little expensive. It was like $30, for 12 hours. Yeah. We only went for the day. Like Corey said, thank goodness we only went for a day. I am glad we didn't stay a whole weekend there. So that was really a good experience. We're used to going to PAX East and parking in a garage and maybe walking a few blocks. This was a block away where we stayed, and there was a lot of parking. But it was the convention's first year, so I'm guessing attendance wasn't. It's definitely not anywhere near another convention. PAX convention. Getting it was really good. The convention hall was huge. We have that video out that kind of shows us walking around the convention floor playing a couple of games. Just like Horace said, it was a good experience, and I'd like to go back next year. However, it is a different experience. Just like he said, it stole all the words out of my mouth. Like you can't watch someone else play a board game unless you know the board game. Like we were going there to experience new games, learn some new games, not pay $100 for a board game and see what it's about, kind of deal.
Right. So
like you have to sit down and wait in line. We played that crazy Ludwig's Castle or Ludwig's Palace.
Okay.
Yep.
We played that for 45 minutes.
Wow.
Which was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. The guy was explaining the rules to us, how to play. We played a nice session, a full session, the four of us. And while that was awesome, that probably wasn't as awesome for someone waiting behind us to try the game. The 45 minutes is a real long time.
I think we need like a ticket system maybe.
Yeah, come back. The other game we played with Flamme Rouge, which we'll get into too right, I guess now, is we kept going back and forth. Core really wanted to play it, so we kept going back, and he was like, oh, come back in 20 minutes. Come back in 20 minutes. So we finally got there when he was like, all right, they're just finishing, we'll play now. So yeah, a ticket system would be cool. A lot of people on the forums are complaining, I wish they would have a demo of this game. Well, yeah, rightfully so. I think they should, but some games you can't make a demo of. If we would have played that Palace game as a demo, like a shorter version of it, we might not have fully understood the mechanics, the rules, like how the game actually played out. So it's kind of hard to, like in a video game, you can say, here's our level, and the demo is 6 minutes. With a board game, you might not be able to experience everything in 6 minutes,
Yeah, for real.
So it's hard to have a demo, but you don't want to have people waiting around forever to play a game, and that's what it is with board games. And I liked it. I wish they had a first look section, which we couldn't find at first because it was small, which was supposed to be like the first time, like new games or something, right?
Yeah, that's what it made out to be. But Chris, you hit a point. The floor plan in like the brochure or the map was different than the floor plan of the hotel. So it would be like, oh, this is in room A. Okay, well, let me go to room A. But it's really marked as room C in the hotel. I thought that was very confusing. That was a big negative. So we couldn't find out if we were in the right section or not.